Welcome back to this week's Inside the Idaho Vandals with head football coach Jason Gesser. I'm Dennis Patchen. One final football game. I know that you don't approach it any differently as a coach. Do players approach the last game of the season when they know it's going to be the last game of the season differently?
You do. I mean, it's a different feel. It's a different outlook. You'd be a fool to say, oh no, they're going to do the same thing. And I've been there and gone through it. But at the end of the day, we're not playing a bowl game. You know, we know it's the last game of the season. Seniors, this is a lot of their time where it's going to be the last time they play football, period. You know, so that's a whole different feel for them. Other guys, you're sitting there going, okay, well, after this one, I'm going to have time to repair my body. I'm going to have time to get off, you know, finish my schoolwork and my semester strong. So there is that factor going to be a part of it. And every kid and everything is different. So that's our job, and my job is to manage these guys and get these guys going into having a fire for this last game, having a push on this last game to do the right things, to come out and not be that first half team you saw this past week, but to be that second half team the entire game. Because if that first half team shows up, it's not going to be fun for anybody. It's going to be a repeat of last year's last game, and that's the last thing we want. So that's something that we definitely going to address and need to push forward for these players and for this program.
Utah State, we saw an incredible performance, at least early in the game, by their defense against Louisiana Tech last week, and then they figured out a way to win a football game at the end of the game and claim at least a share of the conference championship. How good is Utah State right now?
They're very good. They're very. I mean, you're sitting here talking about La Tech, who only lost, came to Texas A&M in a game that they should have won. Who Texas A&M is now in the top 8, I want to say right now in the BCS or whatever it may be. And before that game, they were talking about La Tech being the at-large BCS bid to go into in the entire country. You know, so Utah State going to their home, and they were up 41-10 at one point.
Right.
You know, and they were putting a whoop on them. And so their offense is very prolific. For them to hold them at 10 points going all the way into the third quarter, in the middle of the third quarter, their defense has done a great job. Their offense is, you know, La Tech's quarterback, San Jose's quarterback, and you put Utah State's quarterback up there. Those are 3 guys that not only are top in our conference, but you can put them in the top 15 in the country of how they're performing and what they're doing. And so they're a very, very good team. We got to go down to their place, to their home, and play against these guys and try to come out with a victory. And one thing that I've kind of taken a preview on, and hopefully I'm not jinxing it right now, but I'll knock on some wood. But one that I've always heard and guys have talked about in the program is that for whatever reason, we always play good against these guys. For whatever reason it may be. You know, you look about it, the game last year, we didn't have a great season last year. They were having a real good season. We went into overtime with the guys last year. You know, that was one of our better games the entire season. And so hopefully, and I'm saying hopefully, that team, that second half team that we played, that showed up for the Vandals this last week, shows up down there, and we do go and fight with these guys and give them a battle, because winning this game, we're not going to be able to win by 21 points or 14 points. It's going to be a battle down to the fourth quarter, and we're going to have to grind and win it by the last play of the game, last field goal of the game, or whatever it may be.
You talked publicly this past week about wanting this job, and even if you didn't get the head coaching job, staying here. You want to let the people who watch this program every week know a little bit about those statements and why you made them and how you feel about this place?
You know, the reason why I made them is I have a great passion for this place, a great care for this place. You know, a guy like Rob Spear, to be able to work for a guy like that, he shares the same drive, the same passion. And he's been a guy that, you're just kind of touching on, sorry going off subject here, but he's gone through a lot too. He's been scrutinized a lot too in this whole thing. Well, you got to make some tough decisions, and that's the way it goes. That's the way the business goes. And to be able to be a part of that and push forward with a guy like that, hey, you know what? Sometimes it's not always going to be bright and shiny, but you know what? We're going to push through. We're going to drive through. We're going to make the tough decisions, and it's going to be all betterment, good for the university, for the program, for the whole athletic department. That's the kind of guys you want to be around, you know. And the kids, how we've pushed forward. We talked about earlier the younger guys. Whenever you're a part of something and you start to see you start to see that transformation. You start to see that flip of where, hey, you know what, this can be pretty special. You want to always see that thing through. You know, I finally got my family up here. Last year was by myself the entire year. The family's over here. We're loving it. We're loving the community. Obviously, knew the community very well from previous engagements and stints over here in the Palouse. But it's something that I care a lot about, you know, and it's not just a job for me. It's something. It's more than that, and that's why, you know, that's why I want to be here and see this thing through and see this become not just a WAC or independent or whatever conference we go to, but bring home championships, bring home, be relevant in Division I college football, go to bowl games, do something that's never been done here before. Those are things that, in my mind, I've always pushed forward. It's not our job to meet the standards, to set the new ones, you know, set the bar higher. And those are things that have driven me and really feel we can get accomplished at this place. And that's why.
Pleasure to cover you for 4 years at Washington State. Pleasure to be here with you for the 4 weeks. I know that you took over a tough situation.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Good luck this weekend and good luck in the future.
Thanks for putting up with me. I know I'm tough, but I appreciate it.
I put up with you for a lot longer before that. So we'll be back with more Inside the Idaho Vandals when we continue here. Thanks for joining us.